Hey there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back. I'm your host, Patsun, and today we're gonna be taking a look at r/cheating stories, where OP actually handled the situation very well. Let's begin. I dumped my girlfriend over a joke, and I can't tell anyone because I will look like a psycho.
TLDR, my ex made a broken condom joke and I spiraled so hard I ended the relationship. But that's really embarrassing, so I half-heartedly claimed it was for self-improvement instead. My ex and I were together for just under 8 months, and like we clicked. Got along like a house on fire from the moment we met. We had a lot in common, from our morals, to our goals, to our taste in music. My family loves her, probably more than they do me. Mom wanted a daughter so bad she couldn't stand it growing up. 4 sons before she gave up. It was probably 3 months ago now that we had been on the couch while I watched a movie and she scrolled TikTok. Not a TikTok hate post. Scrolling can be fun, I'm just more of a YouTube guy. Speaking of showing me videos, she showed me one of a man holding his son and dancing to a song. She laughed and said something about how good I would look as a dad, which was pretty weird considering as far as I knew, both of us were child-free by choice. God knows I am. I tried to take it as a joke, and mentioned that it was too bad so sad, she would never know. I thought she would respond something about how there's nothing sad about avoiding it or something. She has never given me any indication before this that she wanted children. And she started giggling this like, evil giggle, and said something like, I don't know, it only takes one broken condom. In this like sing-song voice that I'm not even joking gave me fucking goosebumps. The implication was clear in her tone. Like, was she making a joke about poking holes in condoms? To me, for real. I tried to laugh it off, but it made me so fucking uncomfortable. Like skin-crawling levels of skeeve the fuck out, and after that my sexual interest for her was entirely gone. It's like I processed her as a threat or something. To be entirely honest, my libido in general is entirely fucking gone. Still hasn't come back. It feels like it's hibernating or something until the scary lady is gone. I know what you're thinking, why didn't you communicate? I tried, like a couple times, but when she said, oh my god, I was kidding you big baby, but never denied that the joke was about that. I dropped it and stopped bringing it up. I didn't think it was worth the fight at that point because while I still do care about her, like a lot, I do not feel comfortable even going to sleep around her, and there is no way that is gonna mesh with a healthy relationship. If there's no trust, there's no relationship, that's how I feel, right? So I broke up with her, and when I told her, I said it was because I really needed to focus on myself. Didn't see a point in telling her then, it would have just pissed her off. As is, she seemed to take it in stride, not angry or concerningly upset, so that's good. My family is more heartbroken than I am and I haven't been great. They're begging me to reconsider, not that I would, especially considering there's no way in hell I'm telling them anything. My mother would be beside herself, thinking, grandchildren, please son, give me grandchildren. But more than that, I know even my dad, who doesn't care about grandchildren, and recognizes that he's more likely to get them from my younger siblings, would call me out for overreacting. So they got the same story she did. It's frustrating because I know it's no big deal and a joke, but it had also been upsetting or sad. I know I'm overreacting, but in the moment it felt like my only option, and I really don't want to take it back even if I am. I know you may think I'm paranoid and I probably am, but I just could not stop thinking about it. After she told that joke, I think it was gonna end one way or another, so I'm glad it ended on decent terms instead of trying to stay and fix everything until I hated her. Sorry I'm talking a lot, but like I said, no one to talk to about this because being unreasonable in real life is like a criminal arrest and I'm trying to avoid another of that particular black mark on my reputation. Anyway, off to research vasectomies because I will not be entering another relationship or becoming any kind of active with anyone until then.
You know, OP, that is one of the upsides of a relationship compared to a marriage. You can end it for any reason at all. It may sound stupid for some people, but that doesn't mean it is stupid for you. And that's what's important here. You didn't harm anyone. You didn't cheat. You weren't abusive. You just ended things amicably. Listen, OP, you are young. Relationships aren't always going to work out long term. Also, since you had such a strong reaction to the joke, it seems like the vasectomy route is going to be your best path moving forward. I'm a firm believer that if you really do not want children, then definitely don't risk having them. Good luck, young man. And now for today's second story. I think my wife is cheating on me with my coworker.
So to start off, I don't really like using platforms like this, but I need to let this out and vent somehow, so here I go. Me and wife have been together for 11 years and I thought everything was good between us until recently. For some context, I work as a dispatcher for truckers and it's a pretty good job. I get good benefits and I make enough where we can both be comfortable. My wife had a job with building gaming computers, but she lost that job due to cutbacks, so I've been the sole earner. I've been picking up a lot of hours and one day my car battery died on me, so I had my wife take me to work, and when we made it to the parking lot, I saw my coworker, Andrew. I waved at him and he walked over to say hello, and that when I introduced him to wife, she got out of the car to shake his hand and he looked at me and said, "You never told me that your wife was so beautiful." She blushed and I laughed, not thinking about it, saying yeah, I'm lucky to have her, and then we both walked into work after I kissed my wife goodbye. A few days later, I got my car good and running, so I've been going to work like normal, but during lunch I couldn't help but notice my wife's car in the parking lot, so I walked towards it and see her and Andrew talking and eating lunch in her car. I got upset, but kept it cool and knocked on her window. She opened door and said, "Oh, I forgot to tell you that me and Andrew were having lunch today together." Then Andrew said, "I hope you're not angry." I took deep breath and said no, and I turned around and walked to the car because if I said anything else it was going to start an argument. But I can feel my wife getting frustrated because I walk away like that. So later that day, when I got home, she blew up, saying that I embarrassed her in front of Andrew, and I said, "Why do you even care, and when did you even start hang out with him?" She said, "I'm a grown-ass woman and I don't have to tell you shit." Then walked off, and since then she's been distant and I noticed she's been on her phone more, calling and texting her friends. But I just know that it's Andrew. But I don't want to accuse her, then I'm wrong and I look like an asshole, but at the same time I want to say something. I don't know what to do. Update: I didn't think it'll blow like this, but I'd like to thank you guys for the advice and support. I talked to my friend and he gave me an Apple AirTag. I'm gonna put it in my wife's car and trail to see if I can find anything and collect evidence, so I don't get fucked in court if we do end up divorcing. A part of me doesn't want to do it because I don't know if I can handle the pain. She and I went through a lot and been through a lot of shit. I can't believe she's really going to throw it away this easily, but I'm still gonna have to do it. I'll try to update again when I have the time. And now, for OP's update. Hey guys, I know it's been a while since I posted, but so much happened during that time span and I finally found the time to update. First off, I would like to thank all of you guys for the support and advice. It really helped me. Quick recap: so my wife been hanging out with my coworker, Andrew, without telling me, and when I found out, she basically started getting distant from me. So I suspected that she's been cheating on me with him. When I started to suspect it, my friend gave me his AirTag and I hid it in my wife's car and followed her. She told me that she was going to see a friend, but I didn't believe it, so I followed her in my friend's car to make sure she couldn't spot me. After a 20-minute drive, she drove up to a hotel. I'm not gonna lie, I felt sick and my heart kept pounding. I was really hoping that I was wrong and she was seeing a friend, but instead I saw Andrew waving at my girlfriend, and then I saw her running and jumping on this guy and kissing him. I was so hurt and angry I wanted to get out and beat Andrew's ass and tell my wife to get all of her shit out the house, but I didn't. Instead I took out my phone and took some pictures, then drove off when I saw them walk in the hotel. I went home and cried, screamed, yelled, and punched a hole in the wall. I was feeling too many emotions at once. I called my friend. He came over and I showed him the pictures and started crying again. I screamed, 11 years down the fucking drain. My friend gave me a hug, told me to get a lawyer and to keep stacking up evidence against her. I didn't know if I can keep up the face anymore, but I told my friend I'll try. So during these past weeks I've been stacking up evidence and keeping my distance. I've seen them go to restaurants, movies, hotels, every time it hurts, but I tough it out, and she always told me she is going out with her friends or family, but I never called her and said okay. I thought I could keep it up for at least a few more days, especially because the lawyer I'm seeing said that I have more than enough evidence to make sure I win and keep everything when we divorce, but I think I messed up yesterday. Yesterday was my birthday and I wasn't really feeling it. My wife didn't even tell me happy birthday, but her parents did, and when I went to work my coworkers got me a cake and some gifts. I tried holding back the tears, because for a moment I forgot about everything, at least until I saw Andrew. He got me a gift and I faked a smile and said thank you. When I opened it, it was the comic Batman. death of the family, and I'm actually surprised because no one at work knew I was into comics and DC was my favorite. Then when I told Andrew that, he said my wife told him, and then all I saw was red. Next thing I know, my coworkers are holding me back and Andrew is in the corner covering his nose and yelling, "What the fuck?" Then I screamed, "I know you've been fucking my wife." Everyone got silent and looked at Andrew. He tried explaining it to me, but I didn't care. All I wanted to do was beat his ass until he stops moving. But then my boss came in and sent Andrew home and took me to his office. I told him everything and showed him some of the pictures. He apologized to me and gave some time off to sort everything, said he will deal with Andrew. Shit really went south when I got home. My wife was waiting and she blew up on me saying that I was wrong for doing that to Andrew, that she talked him out of pressing charges for hitting him and kept yelling and yelling saying, "Andrew makes me feel like a real woman, treats me right and knows how to make me feel special." I finally popped and just yelled, "I don't give a fuck." She looked surprised and went silent. I kept going saying, "If he makes you feel special, go live him and have him support you because I'm done." Then she had the nerve to cry and say that she's sorry. Plus she tried saying how Andrew caught her at a moment of weakness, but I just took a deep breath and told her to get a lawyer because we're getting a divorce. She really tried to apologize and said that she can't afford one, that we need to work on us, but I just looked at her and told her to pack up. She kept crying and begging, but I just got her suitcase and called her sister to come pick her up, but she locks herself in the bathroom, saying she won't come out until I was willing to work things out with her. I kept telling her that I didn't want to work anything out, that we need space because when I see her I feel angry and hurt. She finally got out and apologized. Then she packs her shit and waited outside for her sister. And now I'm finally in the house alone and I can't stop crying. I feel so many things that I just don't know anymore. I'm going to see my lawyer tomorrow. Sorry if I was all over the place with my post. I'm just feeling horrible and emotional. But I am planning on seeing a therapist soon. I'll definitely update everyone once all this blows over. I'd like to thank everyone again for the advice and support.
OP, make sure that you divorce her. She only wants to work things out because she will be homeless. If we were to believe her, it looks like Andrew caught her at a few dozen moments of weakness. The audacity of this woman. First, she insults you. Then she belittles you, disrespects you, and compares you to him. Then suddenly she cries and wants to fix the marriage? I'm so glad that you told her you're done. She can't afford a lawyer? That's okay. Andrew can take care of that for her. Viewer support is the best way for me to remain independent and continue bringing you these daily videos, which will always be here on my channels for you to watch absolutely free. So please consider subscribing to me on Rumble and on YouTube. Both will be linked in the description box down below. Thanks for listening, everyone. If you even somewhat enjoyed today's story, make sure to give this video a thumbs up, and if you really like it, consider subscribing to PattSun to never miss a future upload. Stay strong.